I've had a lot of attention as I tuned into fear over the past days of, how meditation kind of sends it out sideways, keeps me stuck in density. And I guess if I'm understanding you again today correctly, there's really nothing to do about that. There's nothing for me to fix. There's no bringing mind in to fix anything. It's truly just creating the pause, creating the space, creating the opportunity to feel it and allow it to keep coming up in whatever form it will, and seeing it disperse. Am I correct in that?
So understand that if you witness within yourself a desire or a temptation or even just a pattern of wanting to fix something within yourself, understand that that in itself is an indication that you have within your mental construct had a belief active saying that there is something wrong with you, or that you're not good enough, or that there is something else that you need to be other than what you are in this moment. So the moment that you witness that desire to fix, notice that that is a false belief, a false pattern coming to the surface and seeking to, well, first of all, it seeks to control your actions. But if you're able to be the witness and be the observer, and it doesn't control your actions if you make a new choice. So let's say up until this point, you have always heard that or felt that desire to fix or to shift something, and up until this point your response to that was always to do something about it, to go and take action in order to follow that through. And on some level that means you're agreeing with it. Yes, I hear that voice, there's something I need to fix, I'm going to go outside of myself and do something to fix it. So that's the old pattern, meaning that you are so entwined and in agreement with that pattern that it is controlling you. So if in the moment in your witness consciousness, if you witness that sensation coming up, and if instead you do nothing, and you don't follow that impulse to fix because you recognize what is happening in the moment, then that is what you call a breakthrough. Because all of a sudden you are no longer controlled by these false beliefs and false narratives and the charges that are associated with them. All of a sudden you're not being controlled by them, and you are making a new choice based on what you know to be true from your witness self, your soul self, your higher consciousness self. You're making a choice from wisdom, not from your old pattern of when the false belief was actually running the show, so to speak. So understand that that is a huge breakthrough. And as we've said before, the most dominant and the most problematic false beliefs within the human construct have to do with one's identity, and usually have to do in terms of there's a sense of lack or scarcity or not enoughness in association with a person's identity. And so the way that they deal with that is, rather than reprogram that thought and release that energetic charge of shame or fear or whatever it is, instead of doing that, they instead seek to achieve and acquire in the external reality to compensate for the fact that deep within they feel like they need fixing. Understand that that's a very dominant pattern, and understand that when people do that, they get rewarded for that pattern. What we mean by that is when someone is so an overachiever, or they're achieving and they're acquiring, and people are looking at them and giving them applause and giving them love, but their entire existence and their entire course of action for their entire lives has been based upon a false belief. So understand that from the human perspective, another being might see that being and think, wow, that is success. But understand from a spiritual perspective, that's not really true success. And we're not here to judge anyone. We know that it's difficult. We know that these ideas and beliefs are programmed from a young age. We know the natural unfoldment. that occurs. So this isn't a place of judgment. It's just a place of witnessing the motivation underneath the actions that you take. And noticing that just because I'm receiving accolades from those in my external reality doesn't mean at all that I'm actually on track with my life, in the sense that I am aligned with my higher self and aligned with my divine blueprint and expressing that energy and those dynamics outward into my life. That is spiritual success. But understand, you're not always going to get accolades from others when you're on that path. Sometimes you will. But if you're truly on that path and you receive accolades from others for doing that, honestly, it won't matter to you. You'll hear it, it'll feel nice. It won't affect what you're doing, so to speak. You'll receive positive comments, you'll receive negative comments. Neither of them will affect you because you know it has nothing to do with you. Perhaps you are achieving success in the sense that it is thought of in your society, in your civilization. Perhaps you are. And if you are, then people who have those beliefs activated in terms of what success means, in terms of achievement or acquisition, those are the people that you're going to get accolades from. But if you're truly aligned with your soul self or your higher self, it won't matter to you whether you're getting accolades or not. The joy that you feel, the happiness you feel, the bliss you feel will come from the awareness and the knowledge that you are aligned with and connected with and following your soul self. That's where the bliss and the joy and the appreciation will come from, not from whether someone else externally is approving of what you're doing or not.